Hey guys, how's it going? Matthew here from A Series of Little Efforts, and we are back with another video. So today's Monday, and I want to talk to you today about back braces. Every Monday, in case you didn't know, we do a posture-related video, just kind of discussing different things about your posture, how to fix them, things that you can do to improve your posture, and stuff like that. So with back braces on the mind today, let's jump right into it. So for posture bracing, there are two real different types of people that start wearing these. The first is people that are coming off of surgery, or they had an accident or something like that that need bracing. And others are people that just have bad posture and they want to improve their posture. So what's the difference? The first group, coming off surgery and that, they are people that are rehabbing. In any sort of rehab environment, I fully support bracing. I think it's a great idea. It kind of allows the muscles to heal while holding them in the right position. That being said, the second group I don't really agree with because you're not recovering from anything. Those muscles don't need support. Those muscles need to actually be strengthened. And a lot of people just use bracing as kind of like a crutch. And that crutch is actually allowing the muscles to get weaker. So that's kind of what the side that we're going to delve into today. We won't touch too much on the surgery side because, most of you, if you've undergone surgery, your doctors have already sort of pushed you in that direction, and that won't be too much of an issue. So let's just start with the idea of people trying to correct their posture using these posture braces. So to start with, I want to show you some pictures of some pretty poor posture and people that may be considering these sort of braces. So as you can see here, a lot of these people have rounded shoulders, they have winged scapula. If you don't know or remember what those mean, you can go back. I will link the other videos in the feed below, and you can kind of check those out if you want to. But there's all different types of upper body issues that you can have, and the rounded shoulders and the winged scapula are going to be the most popular for this type of bracing. So the idea behind the bracing is that it grabs the shoulders, rotates them backward to where they should be, and kind of puts them where they should and allows you to stand up in an upright posture, and hopefully, anyway, the body conditions itself to get used to being in that position, and then you take the brace off and you're supposed to have good posture. We will get into sort of why that isn't really the case. And obviously, again, don't forget, this is much different for post-surgery. I don't want people to be coming off surgery and decide that they don't want to wear braces because they're bad for them, because that's definitely not true. What I do want to do is kind of just inform everybody and let everyone know the truth behind these braces and what they should and should not be used for. So who is recommending these braces? People recommending these braces are doctors. And the problem with a lot of doctors is they, quite honestly, they really don't know all that much. They know a very little bit about a bunch of things across the board. They don't have extensive knowledge in anything like rehab or the body or anything like that. Quite honestly, a lot of doctors have very little pure anatomy knowledge. I've actually trained doctors who've come in and I've said to them, okay, we're going to work your hamstrings today. And they didn't know which muscle was the hamstring. A lot of doctors obviously aren't quite that bad, but it is a huge problem in Canada that our doctors seem to have this huge authority, but they go out there and kind of tell everybody what to do, even though they don't really know the answer. They're just kind of giving quick fix answers instead of really looking into what the problem is, or being willing to admit that they don't know the answer and actually refer you to a specialist. So now we've already mentioned that I at least don't believe that it's good for you, but I haven't really given a reason why. So here's what's happening. You're pulling all those muscles back into position, which is great. That's where you want to be. I tell you all the time, sit up straight, good posture, etc., and that's a great thing. But doing it artificially is creating artificial muscle as well. So yes, it's pulling your shoulders back, which is fantastic, which is actually stretching the anterior deltoids and the muscles in your chest, which is also great. The problem is what it's not doing is strengthening the muscles in the back. So I'm going to bring up a diagram here, and all the muscles here in the back, which what we're trying to work on is going to be the lower lats, the rhomboids, and the posterior deltoids. All those muscles are no longer even activated at all. So instead of being slightly activated, now you're getting nothing. So in fact, those muscles that need to be strengthened to fix your posture are doing less than they were doing before you tried to fix the problem. So why is this a bad thing? Well, obviously, if they're not doing as much, they're probably going to atrophy a little bit as well, and they're actually going to get weaker. So what that means is that even though the chest is opened up, when you take the brace off, even though the chest is flexible and it isn't going to be pulling you forward anymore, the muscles in your back are going to be so weak that you're just going to automatically cave forward again. So obviously that's not what you're looking for, and what we have to do is find you a solution. So if bracing isn't the answer, then what is? What I really obviously recommend doing is going into the gym and actually working on the muscles. The stretching through the chest and the shoulders, you can do at home. That's not a big issue. You don't need a brace to do that for you. Yes, it does it for a longer period of time, but just stretch more. It really comes down to putting in the time and fixing it yourself. Now, with the muscles in the back, that is going to be a little more tricky, but it's not overly difficult. All you have to do is work on those three muscle groups, the posterior deltoid, the rhomboids, and the lower lats, and if you're hitting them properly, you should be fine. It should pull your posture back, no problems at all. Obviously, it's going to take some time. It doesn't happen overnight, but it doesn't happen overnight with bracing either. So how are you going to accomplish this and make sure you're doing it properly? Really, obviously, for me, being a trainer, I'm going to recommend seeking help from a professional. The big problem is if you do these exercises wrong, you're going to be using the muscles in your shoulders and your chest more than you will be the muscles in your back, which is going to make the problem worse. This isn't to say you can't do it properly. It's definitely possible, but if you're not feeling that contraction in the muscle when you're doing the exercise, I guarantee you're doing it wrong. The biggest tip I can give you when you are trying these exercises on your own is, are you finishing in proper posture? When you finish the pull motion, is your chest up and elevated, and are your shoulders down and back? If the answer is no, and you're scrunched up like this, or your shoulders are rounded forward like this, then you're doing it wrong. If you're not going to look for help or hire a personal trainer, definitely keep that in mind. Whenever you finish movement, are you in good posture? If the answer is yes, hopefully that means you're doing it right. There are a whole bunch of little tips and tricks with different exercises, and I'd love to be able to go over them all in this video, but that would take days to do. If you have any specific questions, just leave them down in the comment section below. If this video helped you at all, please hit the like button and also subscribe so you can see our other videos as well. And yeah, have a great day, guys, and we will see you soon with another video. Thanks. Bye.